Prince Andrew is finally ready to leave his Windsor cocoon. And no, this isn't because he's suddenly developed wanderlust. It's because the FBI just dropped their investigation into his Jeffrey Epstein connections like a hot potato at a royal barbecue. Right, let's set the scene, shall we? For the past 6 years, Prince Andrew, once known as Air Miles Andy for his globe-trotting antics, has been more stationary than a Buckingham Palace guard. The Duke of York settled down at Royal Lodge in Windsor for the past 6 years, fearing he would be arrested if he left the UK while the probe was ongoing. Welcome back to Royal Cookies, where we serve up the juiciest royal gossip with a side of heart-wrenching humanity. Please remember to subscribe and click on the notifications bell icon, so you will be notified whenever we upload new cookies about the British royal family. Now, imagine being a member of the royal family and voluntarily grounding yourself. That's like a fish avoiding water, or King Charles avoiding organic vegetables. It just doesn't happen. But Andrew? He's been playing it safer than a nun in a convent. This is the same man who, back in 2014, visited 15 countries in what he called working visits, which was almost 4 times more than Prince William and 6 more than any other royal. Asterisk asterisk 6 more. Asterisk asterisk I mean, at that point, he practically had his own frequent flyer magazine subscription. But then came 2019, and suddenly our jet-setting prince discovered the joys of staying home. Following that absolutely asterisk legendary asterisk car crash BBC Newsnight interview. You know, the one where he claimed he couldn't sweat and had been at Pizza Express. Andrew decided that maybe, just maybe, international travel wasn't for him anymore. He was forced to step down as a working royal in 2019 following his car crash BBC Newsnight interview over his relationship with Epstein, and imposed a travel ban on himself since then. A asterisk self-imposed asterisk travel ban. Because nothing says I'm innocent like voluntarily becoming a hermit. Picture this. You're a member of the most famous family in the world. You've got more money than a lottery winner, and you choose to spend 6 years in the same house. That's not a lifestyle choice, that's a survival strategy. But let's be real here. Andrew wasn't exactly roughing it. We're talking about Royal Lodge, a 30-room mansion in Windsor Great Park. If you're going to self-exile, might as well do it with style, right? It's like being grounded, but your bedroom happens to be the size of a small country. The man went from racking up 66,800 air miles in a single year. That's like flying around the world nearly 3 times. To having travel anxiety that would make an agoraphobic penguin look adventurous. But here's the thing that's absolutely mental about this whole situation. His last flight was on a private jet to Bahrain in 2022 as he was working to get money to fund his stay at Royal Lodge by flogging his pitch at Palace. So he was so worried about traveling that he traveled to Bahrain to make money? Make that make sense. The FBI concluded its investigation in 2025, determining that neither Prince Andrew nor any other associates of Jeffrey Epstein will face criminal charges. Just like that. After years of investigation, mountains of paperwork, and enough speculation to fuel 1,000 conspiracy theories, they've essentially said, nothing to see here, folks. Move along. Now, I don't know about you, but if I'd been hiding in a mansion for 6 years waiting for the FBI to make up their mind, I'd be equal parts relieved and absolutely furious. 6 years. Do you know what you can accomplish in 6 years? You can get a PhD, learn 5 languages, or watch every single episode of The Crown 3 times over. But here's where it gets interesting, and by interesting, I mean absolutely bonkers. According to a Justice Department memo obtained by Axios, there will be no charges brought against the Duke of York, who withdrew from public life after being accused of sexually assaulting Epstein victim Virginia Giuffre. The timing is suspicious, isn't it? We're in 2025, there's a new administration in the US, and suddenly this investigation that's been dragging on longer than a Game of Thrones season gets wrapped up quicker than a Christmas present. Well, according to sources, and we all know how reliable royal sources are, Andrew is expected to end his self-imposed travel ban after the FBI concluded its investigation into his links with pedophile financier Jeffrey Epstein. But here's the million-pound question. Where exactly does a disgraced royal go after 6 years of voluntary house arrest? It's not like he can just pop down to the local travel agent and book a holiday to Mallorca, is it? According to The Sun, because of course it's The Sun, a source said, he has been abroad once since the scandal erupted. But without the FBI hanging over his head, he will feel it's safe to travel. He has always been very nervous about going abroad and felt he'd always be looking over his shoulder as he could be subject to civil action or at worst, being arrested. But wait, there's more. The same source continued, what's he supposed to do with the rest of his life? He hasn't been convicted of any crime and can't sit around doing nothing at Royal Lodge forever. Well, there's a question for the ages. What exactly does a 65-year-old disgraced royal do with the rest of his life? Start a travel blog? Become a motivational speaker on the topic of how to survive 6 years in one house? The FBI has officially closed its long-running investigation into Jeffrey Epstein's sordid network, declaring that no charges will be brought against Prince Andrew, effectively clearing him for international travel after years of alleged self-imposed exile. Sends ripples through the entire monarchy. For 6 years, the royal family has had to navigate around this massive elephant in the room. Every public appearance, every official function, every family gathering has been conducted with the knowledge that one of their own was under federal investigation. Think about it. King Charles has been dealing with this cloud hanging over his brother's head throughout his entire reign so far. William and Kate have had to field questions about their uncle at every turn. And Harry? Well, Harry's been dealing with his own drama. But even he must have an opinion on this whole mess. If you're obsessed with royal strategy and environmental impact like I am, make sure you're subscribed to Royal Cookies because we're serving up the most sustainable royal content on YouTube. And remember, in a world full of fast fashion and royal scandals, sometimes the most revolutionary thing you can do is wear your values on your sleeve, preferably in a gorgeous shade of green. Sophie's proving that environmental activism isn't just about what you do, it's about who you become. Until next time, keep munching on those eco-friendly royal cookies.